Hello, and welcome back to the Core Path. If you're new here and passionate about biblical wisdom that speaks into today's world, take a second to subscribe, because what we're talking about today is both ancient and terrifyingly current. Have you ever watched two people who once loved each other become enemies? Two brothers sharing blood and history turning into bitter rivals? That's not just a personal tragedy. It's also the story behind some of the most devastating conflicts in our world today. Let me take you back to a moment recorded in the Bible. Two twins, Esau and Jacob, sons of Isaac, grandsons of Abraham. They were born minutes apart, but their destinies couldn't have been further. Esau, the rugged hunter; Jacob, the quiet strategist. Esau lived by instinct, Jacob by calculation. One day, Jacob finds Esau exhausted and hungry, and takes advantage of that moment to buy his birthright with a bowl of stew. Later, with the help of their mother, Jacob disguises himself to steal their father's final blessing, the one meant for Esau. It's a betrayal that cuts to the bone. Esau is furious and vows to kill him. Jacob flees, not for days but for years. And what could have been a bond for life becomes a wound that echoes through generations. A story that starts with family, ends in division. Sound familiar? Now fast forward thousands of years. Look at the modern conflict between Israel and Iran. Many forget this, but both nations trace their roots back to Abraham, the father of faith. Yet today, Iran's leaders publicly call for the destruction of Israel. This is not a cold war of ideologies. It's a hot, ongoing struggle involving proxy wars in Syria, Lebanon, and Gaza. Missiles, cyber attacks, assassinations, nuclear threats. This isn't just political tension. It's a spiritual tragedy, a conflict rooted in ancient ideas of promise, justice, land, and legacy. A rupture between spiritual cousins that has widened into threats of total annihilation. And then there's Russia and Ukraine. Two nations once joined under the same empire, speaking similar languages, intermarried for centuries. Kiev is even considered by many Russians as the mother of Russian cities. And yet now, streets that once held weddings now hold funerals. Friends who grew up together now see each other through the sights of a rifle. This is no longer about borders. It's about identity, about rewriting history. You're ours. No, we are free. And again, blood spilled between people who once called each other brothers. What does all this have to do with the Bible? Everything. Because Esau and Jacob aren't just characters. They're symbols of what happens when we let pride, pain, and old wounds lead us. Of how broken families can break nations. And how unresolved hurt can travel down bloodlines like poison. But here's where the Bible is not just brutally honest. It's also incredibly hopeful. Years after their falling out, Jacob returns home. Terrified, guilty, expecting revenge. He lines up gifts. He sends his family ahead. And then Esau appears in the distance, not with a sword, but with open arms. He runs to his brother. He embraces him. They both weep. No words, just tears, just reconciliation. That moment, two men, once enemies, choosing peace, is one of the most powerful in all of Scripture. You see, the Bible doesn't avoid conflict. It shows it, but it also offers a different path, reconciliation, and the courage to forgive before the cycle of violence consumes everything. So let me ask you, is there a war in your world that started with a broken bond? A sibling? A parent? A friend you once called family? Because wars don't begin in parliaments. They begin in the heart. In envy, in betrayal, in silence. They begin when we believe that our pain justifies our retaliation. And they continue when no one is brave enough to say, let's end this. But they can end with one decision: to stop the war in yourself. Because the truth is, peace doesn't begin with presidents. It begins with people, with the conversations we choose to have, with the apologies we finally make, with the forgiveness we dare to offer, even when it hurts. Heal your family and you heal a part of the world. Restore a relationship and you restore a piece of peace. No act of reconciliation is small. No heart turned toward peace is powerless. Because when enough hearts change, history changes. Thanks for watching. If this video moved you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the Core Path for more conversations where ancient truth meets the modern world. Until next time, choose peace even when it's hard.